So we all know Shannon Sharpe is in trouble right now. He's been hit with a $50 million lawsuit by some young girl who's claiming all kind of vile acts that he did against her. So we're gonna go ahead and get into it because the update is well, we thought that he would probably get fired from ESPN, but it looks like he's not getting fired just yet, which is a good thing because the man got to make a living and he's innocent until proven guilty. But anyway, let's get into it. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bell so every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. So this article is from the New York Post.com and it reads Shannon Sharpe stepping away from ESPN in the wake of, allegations. It says Shannon Sharpe is taking a temporary leave from ESPN after he was accused of, in a $50 million civil lawsuit on Sunday. Now, a lot of people wonder, like, why she's not filing a criminal suit. Well, this is a new day and age, and everybody's about the money. But anyway, let's keep going. The 56-year-old who appeared on ESPN's First Take has repeatedly denied the allegations made by Jane Doe that he sexually assaulted her in late 2024, 2025. Quote, my statement is found here, and this is the truth. The relationship in question was 100% consensual, Sharp wrote in a statement posted on social media Thursday. Quote, at this juncture, I am electing to step aside temporarily from my ESPN duties. I will be devoting this time to my family and responding and dealing with these false and disruptive allegations set against me. I plan to return to ESPN at the start of NFL preseason, which is what, like September or something like that. In a statement to the Post, ESPN said this is a serious situation and we agree with Shannon's decision to step away. The accuser's attorney, Tony Busby, released an audio recording this week in which Shannon can be heard telling the woman, I might choke you in public. Now, when I listen to the audio, because everybody's playing it, I go back to what the late great Tupac Shakur said. Believe none of what you hear and half of what you see. If it's to the point to where, like, if I'm not watching it live, then I have to question it because the conversation when you listen to it, it doesn't it's like it doesn't connect with each other. It's like it doesn't match. To me, it seemed like there was some lot of splicing and dicing in that conversation to make it fit to what she was trying to say. Just like when he came out with the statement saying that he thought she was going to put out a video of a sex tape, like a 10-second clip, because that's what they sent to him first. So I guess that's why he tried to settle for $10 million at first, and then they were like, "Nah, we want the 50 million." Like, dang, how the hell? But lawyers are gonna do that. Lawyers are gonna go to the stream on one end, and another lawyer gonna go to the stream to the other end, and then they're gonna try to maybe you know meet in the middle. But hell no, Tony Buzzard went all the way up to 50 million. That's let's throw it off. He's like, so I guess they want to try to meet somewhere in the middle. I don't know, but it's out in public now, and I don't think Tony Busby is really that bright. Tell you the truth, I mean he's a lawyer, but I don't know what he's trying to get into. But anyway, let's continue. In a previous recording released earlier this week, say Shark can be heard telling the accused, "If you say that word one more time, I'm going to effing choke the s out of you when I see you." Like I say, if you listen to the audio, it doesn't match. The whole conversation doesn't match. Like I say, it seemed like it was odd edited. Sharp's attorney, Lanny J. Davis, released a series of explicit text messages saying he says were sent from the accuser to Sharp, which Davis says illustrates the two had a consensual relationship that involved role playing and fantasy. He also said the accuser charges money for role playing on OnlyFans. So Shannon Sharpe knew this young lady was on OnlyFans. As a matter of fact, on his podcast with Ocho Cinco, he jokes about it. He talks about how she came out to him and told him she had an OnlyFans page. And she said, but she was afraid to tell him because she didn't know how he would act. And he at first didn't like it, but he said once she showed him how much money that she was making, he was all for it. And him and Chad laughed and giggled and everything about it. But here's the thing that Shannon had to understand. If this gal is on OnlyFans, you know she about that money and gonna do any and everything she can for that money. She's just like an online prostitute. What Pimp C say, pimping ain't dead, it just moved to the website. That's what she is. So she's young. He got the money and the status. She saw a bag. Now, what made him want to date this woman or clap these cakes? I can't tell. I don't know because let's go to this. What is this IBT website? Because I want to show y'all pictures of this basic chick. This is ibtimes.co.uk and it says 10 photos of Gabriella Zuniga, the OnlyFans model, filing a $50 million lawsuit against Shannon Sharpe. Because Sharpe is the one who put her name out. And you saw it in New York Post as I'm reading. They never mention her name, just call her accuser, even though everybody knows who she is now. So anyway, look at these pictures. This is like just a big-headed white girl. Well, no, I think she's like Hispanic white. You know how like when you do this, when you look at your census and stuff, and it's how you black, non-Hispanic, white, non-Hispanic, Hispanic, stuff like that. This is why. I mean, she is like basic. There is, to me, to each his own. Some people might like girls looking like little 12-year-old boys, but she got, like I say, she just basic. Has them two pictures. We're not gonna read this. Like nothing here, and they said they met in the gym. Nothing here makes me want to join her OnlyFans page. This picture here, she's like just a real live blow up doll. I mean, this is like seriously. I see nothing. No cleavage, no cakes, no nothing. What's this? One, two, three, four, five, six. It said 10 pictures. So let me keep scrolling. Maybe there are two. Next, sorry. I'm sorry. Shannon Sharp, that dude, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. You should pay her 50 million just on this alone. Cause this heifer look homeless. But anyway, let's keep going. I don't get it. One alleged text from the accuser who is more than 30 years younger than Sharp on October 2023 says, I want you to put a dog collar around my neck and choke me with it while you're effing me. 30 years. Now, a lot of people got a question about that. Like, would you be messing with a girl that young? Me personally, nah. But here's the thing. Sometimes, if it's, and I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but I'm saying like if you're thinking of just having a good time, a fun time, but not a long time, yeah. But then it's like, this type of person that you don't want the world to know that this is what you're doing. Simple as that. So, but it done came out. This is one you make us sign an NDA and let that be the reason. But this dude right here, this Shannon Sharp character, this guy is not too bright. Said Davis also said this week Sharp, a Pro Bowl Hall of Famer who played for the Broncos and Ravens, and the accuser were close to a settlement worth at least $10 million before she backed out. Sharp claims the lawsuit is a shakedown. Stephen A. Smith, the centerpiece of First Take, addressed the allegations on his eponymous podcast this week. He said, I recruited Shannon, but I'm not the boss. Steve Smith said, referring to when Sharp left Fox for ESPN in June 2023. Those are other folks. There are lawyers uh, to this, and there are certain layers to this. And there are certain layers that even I am not on. I can tell you, I also spoke to co-chairman of Disney, the boss, Jimmy Pitaro, who made it very, very clear that ESPN is taking this matter very seriously, and we are looking to this very, very closely. And once we gather as many facts as we possibly can, we will go from there. And that is all she said. That's all he said. And I can mention his name because I received permission to say that. I don't know what that means. And Stephen A. Smith just know he just can't say a lot because ESPN is paying him the big money. He got a podcast making good money, but ESPN is making the big money. I want to go back up here. Here we go. We're going to click on this. Please, apologize for the ads and stuff that click on these websites, but hey, it is what it is. So here on this next post from the New York Post.com, it reads Shannon Sharpe's lawyers release X-rated text name of accuser in $50 million civil, lawsuit. And it says alleged text message between Shannon Sharpe and a woman accusing him reveal X-rated missives she sent the NFL legend leading up to her bombshell $50 million lawsuit. So Shannon ain't too stupid because he kept the text messages. So he already knew what may just happen. You just gotta, you know, keep yourself prepared just in case. The sexually explicit messages blasted out by Sharp's legal team. Now, I'm not sure if I would have put this public. I think I would have just been quiet. Him and his lawyer should have just been quiet, let this ride, and then once you know they do these negotiations behind closed doors, and then if it goes to court, then this stuff can become public. But I think Shannon Sharpe and his lawyer, I think Shannon Sharpe, I think he panicked. I think he panicked because he moved too quick. He should have just been patient, and I think everything probably would have worked out for him. But anyway, again, go back. The sexually explicit message blasted out by Sharp's legal team, include the accuser allegedly telling, like I say, you see how they're not saying her name, allegedly telling the former Denver Bronco 56 she wants him to quote put a dog collar around my neck and tie me up and do bad things to me. As ESPN personality's defense lawyer named the plaintiff, who was only identified as a Jane Doe in legal papers. The trove of purported messages clearly indicate the nature of the relationship was consensual and sexual in nature, and in many cases initiated by her with specific and graphic requests, Sharp's attorney, Lanny J. Davis, said in a statement. So Shannon, it looks like he knew she had an OnlyFans page at this point. It looks like he was into what she was probably doing on OnlyFans, which is probably role playing, saying things, sexually fantasy things to her customers, and he was into that. Now, if this is the case, I'm not gonna say this is not uncommon with I think with some people, not saying with people maybe like with a lot of money who or people who don't want to settle down because a lot of people want to know why Shannon Sharpe ain't trying to settle down at his age. Well, he just still want to be out there. He don't want to settle down. Probably don't want to lose everything he got. So he still want to have fun, whatever. But so you'll see stories where hear stories where guys they will date, streetwalkers. They will date escorts. They will, and because escorts will talk to them like they want to. They'll listen to them. They won't talk back. They won't give them attitude, and they can get what they want to get their rocks off, pay them, and then move on. The issue with this story is Shannon Sharpe got into a relationship with this escort, and that's where he messed up at. The trove of purported messages clearly indicated the nature of the relationship was consensual and sexual in nature, and in many cases initiated by her with specific and graphic requests, Sharp's attorney, Lanny J. Davis, said in a statement. Let's see. The civil legal action was filed in Nevada State Court and claims the Hall of Famer committed sexual assault against the accuser near the end of 2024 and the start of 2025 during a rocky consensual relationship that lasted about 2 years. Sharpe allegedly threatened to kill her, manipulate and control her, and repeatedly threatened to brutally choke her and violently slap her, according to the legal papers. But Sharpe categorically denies the allegation and is ready for a legal fight. Davis said, pointing to the alleged text as proof his client did nothing wrong. Now you notice the other lady, the Zuniga lady and her lawyer are not confirming nor denying these text messages at this point. They're being quiet. They're being smart. Davis said Sharpe and the accuser had consensual sex until January 2nd, 2025, the day after she allegedly asked for 25,000 per cheek in a message. Check it out. I know you missed this big, juicy buttocks. 25,000 for each cheek, she allegedly wrote, according to the 44 pages of text Sharpe's legal team released. Now, when I heard that, I was thinking on a different level. Like maybe she got a BBL and was saying that it cost 25,000 per cheek to get a BBL, to get the perfect BBL. I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying that could be a option, or he's paying $50,000 for this. Seriously, look at y'all. Look at it. If these cheeks, and like I say, you see, if these cheeks are worth 25,000 a piece, man, there are some sisters out there who are getting robbed. Like seriously. There are some sisters sitting on some $1 million cakes. If them cheeks were worth 25 a piece. I'm sorry. But anyway, before that message, Sharp wished her a happy new year and said if she sent him 50,000, she could come over to his house. Another alleged message states. What the message? If she sent him 50,000. So he already, like at this point, he knew she was an OnlyFans person. Jane Doe, so basically they probably going back and forth joking. Jane Doe's lawyer hit back at the release text, claiming that all the purported messages took place before the alleged assault. So that's what he said. Okay, so look, oh, I was wrong. I haven't read this whole thing. So he's saying that, like I said, so he's saying that the messages might be true. Other adult-only texts released by Sharp's team include when Jane Doe allegedly texts Sharp a photo of a women tied up in a compromising position and wrote on March 5th, 2023. So that's like over 2 years ago. Tie me up like this and F me, with Sharp replying, if I knew how I would. Then she allegedly wrote back, it's okay, I have handcuffs. We can stick to those for now. The two allegedly exchanged kinky messages again January 31st, 2024, when the accuser allegedly wrote, that just got, you know what I'm saying, hurt like what say on the clumps, got him moist. Tie me up and do bad things to me, to which Sharp then wrote, cuff up. Jane Doe allegedly wrote, you still have my handcuffs. I want like some hardcore BDSM action though, and feeling kind of kinky, feeling kind of freaky lately. My God, this girl is 19 at the time. This heifer need to be in church. She additionally wrote, I want to be abused daddy. That March 14th, and I want you to put a dog collar around my neck and choke me with it while you're effing me on October 9th, according to the alleged messages. The two also talked about her desire to have a baby with him, including allegedly writing, only if you put that baby gravy in me. What 19-year-old know about the word baby gravy? Shannon Sharpe must have said that, because that's like that sounds like something old folks would say. Well, somebody, when I say old folks, people back in the day would say something like that. He probably said that to him, because that don't sound like none of these kids say nowadays. Then you can do whatever you want to me. And I literally ate so much food, I look like I'm pregnant with your big black baby. So that there is disturbing, because it shows you, and it brings up like a history of this fetishness, this fetish that them folk have for black men. Now, you remember the movie, what's it called? Birth of a Nation. Not the latest one about Nat Turner, but the one that came out like 100 years ago, that they showed in the White House, and they said, "Boy, it's an accurate depiction of America." That's what they said in the White House. And the premise of the movie was the Ku Klux Klan was going to save America from these sexual black deviants, because that's all they think about is, all they think about is, going and assaulting and doing bad things to white women sexually. And so the Klan's going to come and rid the world and save the white damsel in distress. They've always put that out there. How do you say that? When you trying to project, they all try to project their own behavior, or the behavior of their women, on us. Because you got to think about it. if you go back to like slavery, why would a brother even look at a white woman during slavery when that white woman was his slave owner and probably was as mean and vile as the man, her husband? So the woman, because just like the slave master, would have fantasies about the black slave woman. And that's how you had these all these mulatto children by these slaves because of what the slave master and the slave master's son would do to the women. So the slave master wife is like, shoot, if he can do it, I can do it. So now she got this fantasy about the big black, the big black C word. And so she out trying to go out there and get them cheeks clapped, them flatbacks clapped and flipped by, saying by the black man. This is something that they knew. This is something they did not like. And so what they do is try to make it seem like it was the black man that was going after these women. And so they had to find a way to get rid of them or keep them at bay. But this here shows you this is how they've been thinking since the beginning of time. This is nothing new. So anyway, let's continue. The pair, but she talking about she want a big black baby. That is disturbing, man. That is really disturbing. The pair appeared to run into problems when Sharp was heard apparently having sex on Instagram Live in September 2024, according to Jane Doe's lawyer. That's when she got pissed. I don't see why, because girl, you 20. Then know your role. You are OnlyFans model. See, that don't make sense. It makes sense either. How are you an OnlyFans person and you got all these men fantasizing about you? I'm quite sure you either did or planned on meeting some of these dudes, but yet you mad that Shannon Sharpe out here with other women. And the way it sounded on some of the messages, a long distance relationship. He talking about flying out there to where you at. It's crazy. In a series of alleged messages on December 26, 2024, she demanded a formal apology and continues to ask for one before Sharp wrote at one point, I've already apologized, stop playing childish games. But boy, you was messing with a child. Davis, Sharp's lawyer. Yeah, and you know what they say? A lot of times they say that people's brains don't grow past, like develop past like the age of 14, 15. Sometimes people are stuck in childish ways of thinking. Now you hear women try to say, well, women, girls develop faster than boys. That's when they kids and they sitting around the house with their mama gossiping all day, learning how to cook and clean like they're supposed to and be wives and mother, but yet doing all this gossiping and stuff like that, but watching these soap operas, reading these romance novels and stuff, wearing makeup, getting their hair done, going to beauty shop and hearing all this gossip of women talking about their husbands and their boyfriends and side dudes. That ain't got nothing to do with anything. That's all they got to do with. That's all it's about. But then again, that's why a lot of them get stuck, like I say, in their teenage years way of thinking because they don't go no further than that. Davis Sharp's lawyer said the evidence painted a clear picture. This was a consensual adult relationship that included role playing, sexual language, and fantasy scenario. That's what it sounded like to me, initiated by the plaintiff. And the retired tight end and the plaintiff met in 2023 at Los Angeles gym when the woman was just 20 years old, according to the civil complaint. Again, let's go back to the picture. If this is the 21 year old, 22-year-old female, what did she look like 2 years ago? She definitely had to look like a little kid. Shannon Sharpe is stuck in the years where he couldn't have the white girls in school. Mama wasn't gonna let him do it. Grandma wasn't gonna let him do it. White girl, daddy wasn't gonna let him do it. White girl probably was fantasizing about it because he playing football, big black jock on the football team, and he probably got him behind the bleachers. You know what I'm saying? Ugly ain't handsome, but the dude got potential. And they going out there doing things. But if daddy find out, it's a tree for old Shannon. So he couldn't have him. And so now he's going back and claiming what he think is rightfully his. That's the way I see it. The woman's lawyer, Tony Busby, said in a statement that the texts were a mere distraction by Sharp's legal team. Every text that Mr. Sharp Sharpe's counsel released today, purportedly from Jane Doe, are dated prior to the alleged brutal assault set forth on James Doe case. He said in a statement, those texts were obviously released in the effort to distract the public's attention from the allegations in James Doe lawsuit. It won't work. Well, yes, of course it is. 'Cause that's what he's supposed to do. Lawyer's supposed to distract, change, let y'all. He's supposed to spin a narrative that this relationship was thrown off from the beginning. Um, and it's only going to help him in court. Now, in real life, Shannon Sharpe, I think, is cooked. That boy's done. He's out of here. They are not going to ESPN, whoever was going to give him this $100 million contract. They're going to back up off that. If not, just say the hell with it. Because this ain't the first time Shannon Sharpe has been accused of violating, the white woman. I think he had a accusation back at CBS before he left. Then went to Fox. You know what I'm saying? And what's crazy is Shannon Sharpe got dark skinned black kids, which means, I don't know if their mama's white, but if they are, then Shannon Sharpe got some strong genes. Got some strong genes. Probably why this young girl says she want a big black baby, because if he have a baby, that baby gonna come out chocolate. So that boy got some strong genes like a sun gun. But Shannon should have known better. Monique, Cat Williams both told him, saying, stop being out. First, Cat Williams told him that don't even think about dealing with them white women, because you can get in a lot of trouble if you do the wrong thing. Monique told him to settle down, stop messing with these young gals, and get him a nice woman that's older that can be there for him. You know what I'm saying? That is what you need, especially at his age. You need a woman that's going to be there for you, that's going to take care of you, that's going to make sure you eat right, which he's already doing, exercising. So he just needs somebody that's equally yoked with him. Gonna make sure that you go to your doctor's visits, things, get your blood work done, get your exams, all that kind of stuff. Make sure, ain't nobody trying to take your money and things of that nature. You set. But this dude, man, like I say, he's cooked. You know what I'm saying? Number one, like I say, we in America. Dude, like I said, you dealing with this young white looking girl. That's strike. I ain't gonna say strike one, but that's strike one through three. This thing here. This thing here. Y'all look at it again and just tell me why. Tell me why, because I do not see it. Man, somebody should have told Shannon Sharpe the game. He's talking to the wrong people. You need to be talking to people that's up in the business that can tell you which girls to look at, which girls to go after, which ones you can have a good time with. Not saying that it's right, because again, like I say, he needs to go on and settle it down, get him a woman. Hell, you know what I'm saying? If you want to have multiple women, you know what I'm saying, then you just don't want to get married, let them all know about each other, whatever. I don't know. I don't know. But with that kind of money, sure, you can say whatever you want to, and ain't nobody gonna say nothing. Ain't nobody gonna have a problem with you having more than one female and claiming them as your woman. Just look at Neo. Look at what's his name? Nick Cannon. Shoot, they got, like I say, Chris Brown probably. Was it Chris Brown? I think. But anyway, look at, let's say, them guys. They got women and girls know about each other, and they just rolling with the punches because they getting taken care of. There's what is her name? Sister Shahrazad Ali, that said that she can't think of any black man in the history of the world who never was in love with maybe more than one woman at a time. But the key is, one, everybody, that is the emotional attachment. It's the emotion that you have to make sure you take care of. If you take care of a woman's emotional needs, then you'd be surprised what they will agree to and compromise to. That's something Shannon Sharpe need to realize. But anyway, tell me what you think about this story. Leave your comments below. Share it with the world. Let's have intelligent conversation. You know how we do around here. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Those four things cost you maybe a couple of minutes out your day, but it means the world to us here. If you like to support the channel financially, you can always get a super thanks, super chat, super stickers, or you can go to the description box. There are a couple of links there you can click on to help support us that way. Now, if you want anything, if you want something tangible for your dollars, which a lot of people do, check out store at marlonmorales.com. You can hit the Shopify store, or you can just simply hit that shop button below and check out all our luxury products. We have fragrances, we have beard kits, we have silk products, handbags, much more. Check it out. You will not be disappointed. With that being said, I'll leave you in peace, and I'll see you on the other side.